Your screen good. Welcome to today's special episode of Roll the Dice with Dave. I am Dr. Dave Rivera Jr., faculty member at Flagler College, also the Director of Hospitality and Tourism Management and the Chair of the Department of Applied Management in the School of Business. Today we have a special guest, and our guest today is Joe Hyman. He is the CEO, or the former CEO and founder of Vizergy. I'm going to go ahead and bring you on to the stage. Joe, thank you for joining us today. Just to let everybody know, we are coming live from our BUS 101 Introduction to Business class. We are trying something new, different, creative, and innovative with regard to guest speakers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and to let everybody know, our goal today is just to try something new. We don't know if this is going to be great or if this is going to be absolutely horrible. The class will tell us, you'll tell us, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I just want to welcome you all today. And before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and open up just so you can see. I'm going to remove myself. To Joe and myself. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and get started. And I want to go ahead and get started. Not that I think you're a villain, but I think every villain does have an origin story. Mm-hmm. You may be a villain, you may be a hero. We don't know yet because we haven't heard the story yet. So let's go ahead and start from there. We're going to find out a little bit about you. So could you please tell us how you got started?
Sure.
In the industry, and maybe explain a little bit about what industry you were in before transitioning to is it retirement, just a different phase, or what's going on?
Yeah, that's a lot of questions. Thank you. So how did I get started? I was in a position where you have to make shifts and changes throughout your career. I was in medical sales. I sold orthopedic implants, artificial knees and hips. I thought this is it. It was a very exciting job that I would never leave. I was in the operating room, part of the surgical team. And I felt like I was on the edge of technology, worked with some fantastic people, but in life, things change. And the company that I was working for was sold, and I needed to look for ways to pivot. And I could have gone back into medical sales and had interviewed and a few things lined up. But I also had a longtime family friend who said, this was in 1998. We had seen each other at a little family event, and he said, wow, the internet. And of course, everybody's reading about the internet and how amazing it is, and people are becoming .com millionaires just by buying a domain. So it seemed very exciting, but I had a family of 4 to feed as well. So to try something completely new was a big transition. He was convinced. He said, come out, come see what we're doing. I went out to see what they were doing in travel and hospitality. They basically had an online reservation platform where people would call, make a reservation for a hotel, like a reservation service. And they were doing it in Arizona. He said, you should do it in Florida. And I thought, well, it's my own business. It's in travel. It's selling great products, which is what I have been doing in medical sales, just implants instead of wonderful destinations like the Marriott on the Keys. So that was really, I made the transition from medical sales to starting this online reservation business. Everybody I knew thought I was completely crazy. You have a good job in medical sales. You know how to do medical sales. What are you doing? I didn't even know you knew how to work a computer. So that's how I started in digital marketing. It was really a long journey from there.
All right. Thank you for sharing a little bit of that. Can you tell us what you would consider your first biggest win with regard to the world of business?
Well, we'll just step back to, you asked me in the world of business, and I've had a long career because it was just about 35 years ago. I'm a resident. I'm born and raised in Northeast Florida. I was a college student, just like you guys, trying to figure out how is what I'm learning going to apply to my career? How is what I'm going to learn going to help me with a job? And what is it that I'm going to do when I grow up? I think my biggest win in business was just really having continual success. I can go back to so many parts of my career and from restaurant manager. I had a lot of great success in that space, transitioned into medical sales through a series of events, and then had the opportunity to start my own business and forge my way as an entrepreneur. But each of those, I had monumental changes that gave me tremendous amounts of confidence. And I think that's the key ingredient to those wins and why people try and identify them. In medical sales, I won a contract at the Mayo Clinic for all the shoulder business. So they do total shoulders, and there were several competitors. We won that RFP and began to sell, and that gave me tremendous confidence and a real launching pad as I transitioned over time into my own business. I think that the real game changer was that this one 5-star resort started licensing our services. And when that 5-star resort licensed our online reservation services, they had a lot of people that paid attention to what they did. And that group helped us really pick up 5-star resorts all around the East Coast. And then another 5-star hotel on the West Coast started licensing our services, and everyone fast followed them. So really seeing this premium 5-star beautiful resort license a product that we had built, and then other people saying, wow, this is great, we need to do the same thing, and seeing it grow from something that we developed was a tremendous confidence booster, and we knew we were on to something.
All right. Thank you so much for that answer. Now I'm going to actually turn back to Joe, right? And I'm going to go ahead and ask you a few things that we had talked a little bit about before. One is personal branding, right? So today, it seems that personal branding has become more important than ever. You have individuals creating their own streaming, which they're doing things on TikTok. They have their own YouTube pages. The social media individual personal branding has gone just crazy. Can you tell me, or actually, can you tell the students, what's one thing that you think they could do to help build their personal brands?
Boy, that's a great question. And I think it's different for a lot of people. You have to find what your sweet spot is, your core sweet spot. If you are really into makeup or your hair, then you want to be the makeup hair person. I don't think you can change from the hair makeup to the dog lover type of a person at the same time, because your brand is consistently putting the same message in front of your audience on a regular basis, and you need to use the same voice, the same concept, and that's big part of how you build your personal brand with regards to social media.
All right, thank you for that. Let's go ahead and ask you another one. I'm going to ask you a question regarding leadership.
Okay.
All right, because you led this company for how long did you say?
25 years.
25 years, right? That's a long time to sit in a leadership position, but oftentimes leadership can be messy. It can be unpredictable. Can you tell us about a time where you felt that your leadership was just not being received well by the individuals you worked with?
Well, I think that's a really tough question when you look back. Leadership is built with trust, and actions that you're taking day in and day out need to focus on trust building, both with your team as well as your customers. And so times that maybe that went sideways, over the years, 25 years, we've had ebbs and flows in our business. We would pick up a big account, or for whatever reason, in our control or not in our control, we lost that account. Well, we had to lose people as well. And so through the layoff process or the workforce reduction, you have to tell people that it's not you, it's the business. We made a decision based on the needs of the business, and we're going to let these 4 people go. And it's very difficult to say, trust us, we're making the best decisions for the business, yet 2 or 3 of your friends were just let go. And I think overcoming that type of a challenge in leadership has something I would identify as, I don't know, a failure or a challenge, basically.
Okay.
Failure.
No, thank you for sharing that. And here's another question, kind of just looking at some other deep dive aspects. Brand loyalty or customer loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't necessarily have to address this from your company as far as Vizergy, that
Mm-hmm.
you were the founder and CEO of. But which companies do you think do a tremendous job at building customer loyalty? And why do you think they do such a good job?
Well, you use Chick-fil-A as an example, your favorite.
And it's not bad. I would say it's
you know,
bad,
they're fast. You know what you're getting. There's good quality. I think there's a lot of companies that do a good job with building loyalty, but it comes back to a consistent brand message, the right product at the right price point, the value, product, relationship. And then you want to do business with people or businesses that you trust their ethos. So if they're dumping trash all over the place, that's probably not the type of business we would want to work for. So are they socially responsive? They have some responsibility? Are they taking care of their customers? A good price value relationship, and are they dependable? Those are the areas that I would say will build customer loyalty as much as anything.
All right. So can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure, yeah.
This is one we haven't discussed. Can you tell us kind of, and I'm going to ask you a few things,
Mm-hmm.
which brands are you loyal to? Right. So if you don't use this brand, you could just say, no, don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start with this one,
Ketchup, Heinz.
So you always buy
Grew
Heinz.
up on it.
I grew up on Heinz. How about hotels?
Well, I'm partial to Marriott, but
Okay.
they were our largest customer, and they help put money in my pocket, so I'm helping put some money back in their pocket, and they do a great job.
All right. How about clothing brands?
Lululemon.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
Best
actually
quality,
yeah,
best
that's
quality
right.
product. You can buy a pair of pants and travel the world with those same pair of pants, and they'll probably be just as strong and look just as good when you get back from traveling the world.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect you to say Lululemon, so it's got me thrown off a little bit from that aspect.
I love Lululemon.
How about shoes?
Shoes on cloud. They're comfortable. They look good, and I don't have to tie them.
Okay. All right. No, I like that. Quick little surprise thing. Anybody else want to ask a question as far as the students related to maybe what his favorite brand? You know what? Fast food. What's your favorite fast food to go to?
Favorite fast food? Well, my wife would say McDonald's, but I don't know that I would say that's my favorite. It's just they're everywhere. I do like Chick-fil-A. Quick chicken sandwich and some waffle fries, and I'm on to my next meeting.
Right. So I'm going to say this in Chick-fil-A. Please don't come after me. Right. I know Chick-fil-A is like Jesus chicken. Right. Everybody says it's got. I just don't think it's that tasty of a chicken sandwich. Like, I just don't. I just think it's a very mid.
I agree. So maybe we should take a vote.
You want to take a vote?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me go ahead and see. That actually, yeah, that answer surprised me very much. It did. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and switch. Hopefully you guys have been thinking about a question. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the dice, and I'm going to go ahead and roll through. So the first one, I'm going to roll just one. So we're going to end up with somebody 1 through 6 to start. Number 1.
So you said you were in medical sales?
Mhm. Believed in and could wake up every day and feel like if this patient or this doctor used our product, that they're going to have the best outcome, and believe that with all my heart. But to your point, I will say, I first started my career with Johnson & Johnson, and I believe they had the best of everything, and ended up and had to make the transition from the Johnson & Johnson knee, which I thought was the best, to the DePuy Orthopedics knee, which ultimately I kind of had that feeling when I first made the change. But as I learned about the product and I easily got to the fact that I was proud to go out and represent that every day and didn't feel like I had to give up any of my ethics at all.
That's a very good question, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question. All right, I'm going to roll the second set. We're going to end up with somebody that's going to be anywhere between 2 through 12. So we have 7, number 7. All right.
Okay, this is more like advice for us, and it's what's something you wish someone told you at our age?
Oh, good question.
Well, I would say 3 little pieces of advice, and you'll hear me say this over and over, and I say this to my kids, but you have to be willing to change and pivot. And life is a guaranteed changes along the way. So you don't want to let them get you upset. You just want to roll with it, accept it, and see what you can learn and move from that. I think even above that, it's to be humble and to be a good listener. There's a lot of information out there. Sometimes we think we know it all, and we don't. There are a lot of people that are good mentors, a lot of great resources out there, and you have to be open to listen and appreciate the fact that you do not know everything. There's somebody that knows a little bit more, and you can learn from them and be humble enough to accept that learning. So that's would be the number one thing.
That's a great question. That is a really good question. All right, here's the next set of die. We have 5, 11.
What's one mistake you made early on that you learned a lot from?
That's a great question too. So much of in life, it's people, and whether the people that you align yourself with when you're young and out having fun. I think that I would align myself with the best quality people that I could find as a young person, as a, looking for friends and enduring relationships, but also in business, hiring people that are a little bit above what you think you might need. I mean, better people produce a better return for the company. They're better to work with. And sometimes when you're just starting out, you tend to take the person that will work for a little bit less, or you lower your standards, and I think you pay for that. So that would be the mistake, is hire up a little bit and align yourself with great people.
That's I tell you, that's why I love you guys, and I'm so proud of you guys. Those are great questions. So far. Yeah.
They are.
All right, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Growing up, did you have like a dream profession? Like, did you ever like see yourself as becoming an entrepreneur?
When I was going to school and growing up, I didn't really feel like I knew what it was that I wanted to do, whether it was it seemed like there weren't as many choices when I was going to school. You're a doctor, a lawyer, a businessman. What's a businessman? A lot of different things. Today, you've got choices from analytics to customer interface. There's so many careers. I never really thought I want to be an entrepreneur, but my mother was a writer, worked for the Times Union. My father had a small business. We imported doormats and wicker furniture, and I did work with him and enjoy working with him, and thought that one day I would take that business over from him. But I don't know that I said, boy, that's what I want to do. It's the path, the journey along the way that helped lead me to where I am today. It's a good question.
It is. And we'll get the last question in this little set. So we have 4, 8, 11, 16, 22.
Was there ever a moment before you made it into entrepreneurship where you thought about giving up, and how did you push past that?
Before entrepreneurship, there are a lot of times that you just scratch your head and wonder, is this really going to work? What helped me is I had 2 kids at home, a wife, payments, and I knew that I needed to make a living. So whether I took the path of going backwards to be a medical sales rep, or took the path forward, either was hard. So, and you had a family to feed. So I think many, many times I put my head on the pillow and wondered, what in the world am I doing? But at the same time, you have to get up and plow forward every day.
All right. So that is going to wrap up our kind of student question section for now. We're going to get back to them in just a second. So students, just to let you know, now you have to come up with a business pitch idea. We're going to roll the dice again in just a little bit. You are going to give the business pitch idea, and then Joe is going to decide whether he thinks this is a great idea. You know what? Pitch it. Or he's going to go, I don't know about it. Maybe you want to ditch it. So while you guys are thinking about that, I have a couple other questions for you,
good.
Joe. As we move forward, and one that kind of I've been wanting to ask you with regard to Vizergy, right? So I know you said you retired, handed it off. So now you mentioned, you're the founder and former CEO. Do you still have any kind of relationship still with the company? Are you still doing things with the company? And how does that situation work where you were the founder CEO, now you've sold it, but you still have a relationship? If you do, how is that dynamic?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So when I sold the company, I worked as the CEO and helped with the transition and the really executive chair, as I had in place a chief operating officer and a president of the company that I knew would take the company over. So I worked with them through the transition and helped in the earliest phases, but began to go really completely hands off, because they had to live with those decisions. They're friends.
Okay.
And I have a relationship from a friendship standpoint. I have lunch with them on a regular basis. It's a chance for them to talk about the business, how things are going. But as far as day-to-day decisions and the future direction of the business, we sold to a giant Canadian software company. They have a playbook. They'll run that business exactly how their playbook says. So my input will be very little.
Okay. I want to ask you a quick follow-up on
Sure.
that. Do you think you'd ever reach a point where you might look at trying to get back into it in a more formalized role? Or are you like, you know what, I'm done, I'm retired, that's it?
So I'm doing a few things with smaller startup companies and the startup ecosystem. I have a few people that I mentor along the way. And so from a consultative standpoint, possibly investor, board member, those are things that I would do. But day-to-day operation, I've had many, many years of day-to-day operation, and I won't do that again.
Okay.
No.
I like how you just addressed something. You said you are doing things looking at several startups.
Mhm.
That's actually a great segue. We didn't practice that. It just happened.
Mhm.
Into, I'm about to start asking students to give their business idea. And then Joe's going to determine whether he thinks this is a great, you know what, continue to move forward. Let's pitch this. Or, I'm sorry, we might want to ditch that idea, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first one. And we have one again.
Weighted dice here.
A therapy animal business where people pay to spend time with a certain animal, and like it would be like a location.
Hmm. And they would come to that location and.
Yeah, pay like per hour or whatever. Just sit in a room with the animal.
Hmm. I think there's some benefits to the animal therapy. I'm not sure that people that need that probably are driving over there. If it was coming to your home, if it was going to nursing homes and bringing different animals, I think there's legs for something like that. But rent, retail, that's a tough place to be unless you really have scale and you can open up multiple locations. So I don't know that I would 100% ditch that idea if that's your passion, but I sure would think twice about having a retail location and start by taking your reach to the people.
You know what's sounding better? That weed idea that you had.
Yeah.
Actually, can you go ahead and guess it? 'Cause that's one of the best ideas I had ever heard.
Okay,
Listen to
go ahead.
this.
It's like a subscription service,
Mhm.
and every week you would get a. It was like you get weed, a list of other people's problems. It's to like help with stress.
Okay.
I love it.
And then it was like a therapy animal would come and you would pet it for like 30 minutes.
So that you would send them
And
some, you'd
candy.
send them some pot, candy, and a list of other people's problems, and that's going to make them feel better.
Yeah.
You don't think the weed would be enough?
No.
Well,
Because then you can just
right.
watch the news
Well,
and smoke the weed, and now you'll feel better about the whole
See, man,
world's
I was like,
problems.
oh my God, that's a great idea. And you need the candy, right? Because after you smoke, you get the munchies.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing, Nick, if you smoke, Chick-fil-A is right up your alley. You're just, grilled chicken. Oh. Now I can mess with Steak and Shake, bro. I can mess with Steak and
Anytime
Shake.
I'm not at school, I never get Chick-fil-A. I never touch the place. I'm a Steak and Shake guy. I'm a Culver's guy. You know, like all the good ones.
I'm not a big fan of Culver, but you got me with Steak and Shake. All right, here we go.
Culver's. I don't know why you still like them.
Was 5 the last one you rolled too? No.
Mhm.
So 5.
Mine's, I think, like a college food app, like an app that shows students like on campus, like the fastest food deliveries, the best deals. But like the students only rate it. It's like a college only food app for like students.
Mhm.
So like everybody in the city. So, but it's only for college students. So
Mhm.
it's less busy and it's like easier for college students to order food to their house or on campus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great. Actually, I like that idea.
So I think it's a good idea.
Put it down.
It's cute. I think it would be challenged to scale. Yeah, you could do it in Flagler. It wouldn't be that hard, but to scale in Gainesville, Tallahassee, Georgia, Facebook was built only as a student communication tool, and look at it today. So I would hate to say that it's not a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I think that the challenge would be the scale and to make it profitable. How would you generate funds from that? Would the restaurants pay you? And it's good ideas are good ideas, and there's a lot of them, but then what people will pay for makes it an even better idea, and how many people will pay for that makes it even a better idea. So you have to think about the cost and the monetization of your idea. I like it because you guys all are similar. So you're going to have similar places to go eat. The taco shop with the this and the that on it. So pretty good idea.
Okay. Let's go with this one. So we have 9, 10, 11. Is it you again? Do you want me to get somebody else this time? I don't know how I'm getting the same number here. All right, we just did one. Let's see, 11, 15.
That's me. My idea would be like a online resume portfolio builder for people don't necessarily have the time to take hours to build a resume and maybe tailor it to specific businesses. Is overall helping themselves out in the full job search process.
It's a good idea, especially if you could add a little consultation to that resume building. And there are services out there that will do that kind of thing, but I think there's plenty of room for more of that type of consultant and using AI to help generate targeted resumes.
Okay. There we go. 16. Oh.
I'm
Oh.
interested.
My idea is, AI's come out, everyone seems like wants to ask the questions, and it gives, in many cases, mediocre at best answers. And so my idea is, we have tons of academics all over the globe, not making a lot of money, and having a lot of knowledge and wanting to talk to people all the time. All they want to do is tell people about their research. All I'm saying is I'll create a company, like a central resource, and we'll have a catalog of all those academics. And if you have a question, you can just go ask one. You ever talk to academics, they're waiting to tell you about their research.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just paid them a bit, I'm sure they'd be happy to.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you could actually get it from a real person who actually knows what's going on, not a AI going, this is the most likely text.
Mm-hmm. So you would be like a subscription, you'd pay into it, then you'd have access to a globe of researchers. I think it's a good idea. Good. It helps the professors make a few extra dollars. It gives a real resource with supporting data.
That's almost like that Harvard professor that created the podcast office hours.
Mm-hmm.
He said nobody ever came to his office hours, so he started podcasting during his office hours.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's streaming on all the major outlets. So he has guests come in, they sit in his office. And I always say, why it worked? Because he had Harvard next to us. Everyone's like, ooh, a Harvard professor. All right, here we go. Let's see the next business pitch idea. So we have, that's 10, 12, 14, 16. Did we just do 16?
We just did 16.
All right, so let's see. That's 10, 11, 12. All right, we did 15 already. Yeah. I'm just going to pick a number. 22.
You're
Who's 22? Are you 22?
No, he's 15.
Oh, you know who I'm going to pick? You, because you came in late.
Oh, okay.
So you get to go. Yeah. Came in.
An art studio bus that travels and does art workshops.
I think it's a good idea.
A traveling art studio?
Yeah, it's remodeled buses.
Yeah.
And you can go to different places and host.
Kids parties, festivals.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad. Add wine to it, so it's like a traveling bus thing. You have wine, and then you can just go to the side and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good.
You already have it.
Yeah, for our block parties at home, it's called the Runaway Bar, and you just park it, and then it's a keg on.
But it doesn't have the art though. So that can be something, right? Add the
Yeah,
art
I like
piece right
it.
there. All right. So the next set of things we're going to go to. This is a lightning round, so we're going to go through several things really quickly. I'm going to modify some of these, and then I'm going to ask the students about some of these aspects there. So first, if anybody wants to volunteer, I'm going to ask the student first, and then I'll come to you, Joe.
Okay.
What is your brain fuel? What is your favorite snack that you eat to help power your brain? Shay?
Goldfish.
Goldfish. Now, is it a particular type of goldfish? Because don't they have
It's like
original, the zest? Okay, so you go regular, the original goldfish. Anybody else? A snack that they go to? Yes.
A banana with peanut butter. That was just easy.
Banana with peanut butter.
Yeah.
So here's do you leave the banana whole and just put peanut butter on it, or do you slice?
I have the jar and a spoon, and
And you just scoop it on there? Okay. Sophia, how do you eat it?
That's actually crazy. I was just gonna say that. I would just take a bite and put the peanut and take another bite.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So banana and peanut butter. That's the go-to. One more volunteer. Yes.
Those cutie oranges.
Oh, the little ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Easy to open, easy to consume, easy to transport. Yes. I can get down with that. So Joe, your brain fuel.
Boy, I like bagels, peanut butter, and honey. Bagel, peanut butter, honey. That's good brain fuel.
Okay. I like that. Let's go ahead and look at this next one. And I'm going to go to the students first. You are starting your own company. You're starting your own company. Who is your first hire, but it has to be a fictional character? Who? Yeah.
Hermione Granger. That's
Hermione Granger is your first hire.
Yes.
Okay. I can mess with that. Lisa?
Dumbledore.
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 So I just want to add, I know we're at Flagler College and this is like Harry Potter world,
Yeah.
right? But,
No. The Lord of the Rings wizard. The Lord of the Rings wizard.
oh, what's his name?
Gandalf?
Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf.
Okay,
There you go.
Gandalf. So we're still going with the magical theme. Anyone else? First, yes. Schrute? Dwight Schrute from The Office. That's wild.
That's your first,
That's
yeah,
wild.
you're going to go right into a lawsuit with that guy.
C3PO. Okay. All right. The only problem I have with C3PO is like, dude wasn't all like he couldn't tell anybody, yo, Darth Vader is Anakin, bro.
Yeah, but like
That's your dad.
his first.
Like he was around the whole time.
Everything else is okay.
Okay. Everything else is all right. I saw it. Oh, everybody wants
Look
to
at
go
those
with- yeah.
hands.
Iron
Tony Stark.
Man. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Okay.
That's smart.
Okay. Abby?
Meredith Grey. From Grey's Anatomy.
No, I know.
Oh,
I
Isn't she dead?
What?
She died in the show.
Meredith Grey died in the show? Oh, sorry. Yeah, do not take, yeah. Next thing you know, they're gonna be like, hey, we heard
Yeah.
Meredith Grey
She's
died in the
gone.
show. Yeah. We'll go a couple of more. Nick? Of course. Of course. You would go with the bad guy.
Absolute demon in the business field.
All right, so Lex Luthor.
I was gonna say Gru from just the thing.
Okay. I can get with that one. Did your hand go up? Somebody else? You said Jordan Belfort. Wolf of Wall Street, boy, that's a real dude though. But in the Wolf of Wall Street movie, he's very fictional. Like, yeah.
You know, I
So-
hear that the real Wolf of Wall Street lives in St. Augustine.
So I think he's up in Vermont.
Yeah, I heard he was in
In the-
St. Augustine Beach.
Okay.
But so I don't know where he is exactly, but I've
Yeah,
heard
Jordan
from multiple people
And it
that,
could be that he's got a house. Well, what's his name has one? Johnny Depp. He's got a
Mhm.
couple of houses in the area.
Mm.
Which the reason I said that is because the fictional character I would hire, Captain Jack Sparrow, would be the one I would hire.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
why?
Oh my gosh, he's like the greatest
The greatest
Yes.
pirate ever.
ever.
I mean, he's a pirate. He
Yes.
steals, pillages. I mean, what, is that the kind of guy
So
that you
I'm
want
gonna-
representing your brand?
I'm gonna say this. I yet to hear a character flaw in Jack Sparrow. Like Jack Sparrow to me is just
I would hire
So-
Superman. He doesn't need to eat much. He's really fast. He can do 8 people's jobs. He looks good in his uniform.
suit.
He's always buttoned up. I don't know. I would hire Speed.
Yeah.
He can be everywhere. He can make a
Flash-
sales call in
Flash may not
Mexico
be a-
City and one in New York, all at the same hour.
I mean, I just now watched the Superman movie for like the first time last week. And what about that guy in the chair that has all the technology? What's his face? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The
Put him in charge of security.
Is it
okay.
Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually pretty dope.
He's the
He was
goat.
actually my
Yeah.
favorite character in the new Superman movie.
hmm
All right, so here is another one, and I want to go to this one first before we kind of start looking at moving to the last couple of pieces. What to you is the biggest workplace ick? I know what mine is, being in the hospitality and tourism industry. Oh, you want to go ahead and jump it? Yeah.
No, I know. Those, if you have like a work group chat and they send you like some passive aggressive message that's like, hey, just so you know, we need to be picking up this at the end of the day or whatever. Like, just go to the person, maybe tell them like, or have like a meeting. There's something about the random text, especially when you're not clocked in, that you get. It's like, hey, just so you know, just so everyone
It
knows.
sounds very personal.
Mhm.
It's like, well,
She knows.
yeah. Lisa, and then we'll go to Anastasia.
A big ick of mine is not good decoration in the inside, the interior, because like if I'm working, I like to have a very
So you want nice decor. That's an
yes,
ick.
a lot of windows. I like how the sunlight comes in, and then also I don't want to be cooped up in a little cube. I like an open space. I get to talk to my coworkers
Okay.
on my
All right.
computer.
Anastasia?
When someone only starts working when the manager's around. Like they don't actually work normal shifts.
Oh,
but then when
yeah.
the manager's there, they're like,
So then they always look like they're the only one working? Yes. All right. Anyone else want to share a workplace ick? So I'm going to give mine, and it's because I've been in the hospitality and tourism industry. I always found this icky, was when the managers would walk up behind a female employee and put their hands on their shoulders. It happens a lot in hospital, and I'm glad you agree. Everywhere I've ever worked, I see it. And I would always ask, I'm like, is there a reason you think going to give a female employee a massage is a good thing to do in the workplace? And then they were like, oh, I'm just trying to be friendly and I was like, but to me, that's such an ick. Like that, to me, that's just so icky.
My boss this summer would, like, if there's a female that wasn't working, he would tell them to go do something like immediately. But if there's a male, he would just like chat with them and be friends with them and like.
Yeah, that is a little ick.
I'm like,
that is a little off-putting. Joe, your biggest workplace ick?
I think people that in an office environment in particular, if you're dressed sloppily dressed, shows you don't really care about, you should be dressing for the job you want, not the one you have. And it's respectful, and having the phone and interacting with the phone while you're interacting with people at work is a big ick for me.
So it's funny you say that. I was just having a conversation with a faculty member. Always wear shorts, like short sleeve button-up shirts and stuff like that. And I said, what job are you dressing for? And he goes, retirement. He said, I'm dressing for retirement. Because we were all at a meeting, and I was just like, oh, that's a great answer. So he's a great professor, though. Yes.
my dad takes people on like business lunches or whatever, and he had this one guy who was like new to the company. He fired him after this. He didn't take his napkin out of the silverware, and he just like would pick it up and like use it like this and then put it back down.
What? Is that
Oh my gosh, that is so
That's
weird.
crazy.
Maybe he wanted to be fired.
Well, they just hired him. Like he was like.
So I will tell you this.
So
When you guys go to work luncheons and things like that, do not take it as a time to relax, because you are always on, especially for an interview. You are always on. Whenever I've gone to lunches with any faculty we've gone to hire, I always look at how they treat the service, how they treat the
yeah, that's
service.
a big ache. They're disrespecting the servers.
Yeah.
They disrespect the servers. They do probably-
I have actually been called into question sometimes on my decision-making ability when I've said, we shouldn't hire this person because they don't know how to treat the hostess, the host, the servers, the bussers, the people working in a food service establishment. If they treat them as if they're their servants, imagine how they're going to treat some of the people that they work with that they feel are below them. I strongly suggest we don't hire this individual. And they go, you're going to base it on how they acted when they went to a restaurant? And I said, yes, 100% every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Right. And the reason I say twice on Sunday is because you really see what somebody's made of, how they treat people on Sunday when it's supposed to be the Lord's day. Right. They treat people bad. And I've been stuck on that. Another thing, pay attention to what you order. I have literally seen people not get hired because they've ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. And they go, if they're not good stewards with our kind of finances now, they'll never be good stewards, not hire that individual. So always kind of keep yourself on. Here's another last piece that I will tell you, and this is one that I pay attention to. Do not order an adult or alcoholic beverage unless. And people go, unless what? I said, unless the head person orders one first and says, hey, would you like a cocktail? We are going to have one. Or we are ordering a bottle. Would you like a glass? Then my recommendation, if they order a bottle and they say, would you like a glass? Your answer is, I would love some, but please make it half a glass. Because they are paying attention. Do not order two doubles. I was on a faculty search where the individual, we ordered a bottle. He goes, I really don't like wine. And we said, oh, get what you want. My man ordered two doubles. As soon as we got back, I was like, that is not a person I am interested in working with or having on our faculty. So always kind of be on. Last question, and I'll start with the class again. If you had a magic button that you could instantly get any skill or ability by pressing it, what skill or ability would you want? Oh, I knew you were gonna like shoot that hand out, Olivia.
Speak any language.
That's
So
good.
that broadens my market to everyone ever, anywhere.
And this is why you're going to be running something. Right? And so, right, I'm going to say this. I'm a department chair, and I'm sitting here going, "Ooh, I want to like be able to transport through walls." Right? It's like my thought. And she goes, "I want to speak any language because I want to extend my outreach." That's such a good answer. Which is why you're going to be running the world one day. I know that. I saw your hand go up, Meredith.
Like an eject button. So like when I'm like somewhere I don't want to be, like I can just press it and I'll just like I
That's a
just
skill.
No, that's an ability. That would
Any ability?
any skill or
That's
ability.
ability.
I did say any skill or ability. That would make you like Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
or like I could eject other people.
I like that one
either
better.
one, it's like and then they
They're gone.
I absolutely like that one better. I'm afraid to go to the next person. Nick.
Death Note.
oh
no.
yeah.
They're like,
And essentially the concept behind the Death Note is you write a name in it and they die.
man, that's so
That's
morbid.
dark.
Yeah, that's so morbid. That's so bad.
So he wants to be
Yeah, no. See, I don't know if I want that ability. Yeah. Lisa.
So I have two. One of them is Rick and Morty risks like the grandpa's mind to be able to build stuff and
Okay.
create something, or Doctor Who's telephone machine.
Okay. All right.
It's dealing with going back to like the multiverse, and it's same as going back in the future or the past. So if I do something wrong for my business, I can go back I can go back.
Have you not seen the movie Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher?
No.
Watch it.
Okay.
That might change your mind
Hmm.
about being able to go to the past.
Okay.
Dude messed up things so bad. Yeah. What's the other one? Project Almanac. If you have not seen Project Almanac, watch that one as well. Great movies about being able to go to the past and change things. They don't end so happy. Yeah, right. So, but they're great movies. I love them both. Butterfly Effect and Project Almanac. Great movies. Anyone else? Abilities? Yes.
The ability to just not show any facial expressions and just look like,
Oh, that's hard.
just look like I'm at peace or like I'm happy when I'm just not let anybody know.
Yeah. My brother said I had that problem. Not had, I have.
I have that problem.
That when somebody says something that I completely think is stupid or dislike,
Yeah.
he goes, "Man, you just cannot hide like your face." Like, how many of you have that ability and wish you didn't? Yeah, I have that ability. Anytime it could be the most, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's important. Like you should do that. Like they
no,
should
but
know.
I'll say this: there's some instances where I shouldn't, such as in a meeting with board of trustees, I should not show any facial expression, regardless of what they say. It should just, if I think it's the worst idea ever, no facial expression. Just
Okay.
In fact, you should act like you're buying it and you're
into it,
listening.
yeah.
Because
That's-
your comment, anyone can change that. If the professor's telling you something you really don't believe, you can still smile and bob your head up and down. And he's thinking, wow, I really got through to everybody today. He wouldn't know. Everybody can work on that.
Last thing, Nick, and then we're going to go ahead and get Joe's.
Do the board of trustees be saying some goofy stuff on a page?
So I will say, I think I would say things that I disagree with as far as potential trajectory of the school. Right? Flagler is a unique place. And it's just, I would say, more disagreement in the potential trajectory and how we should move forward with some of our academic things. And here's one, and I'll say it to them. I've even had ideas. The idea of developing and changing the way we deliver classes sometime. Not every class has to be done in a face-to-face mode. There are some classes that lend itself to being able to be delivered in hybrid methods. And I'll give you an example. We have some classes that have there's such a pressure point because all 9 areas within the School of Business demand these students take these classes. Economics 211 is one of them. You could actually set up a class where you do some material online, right? Some basic learning. You meet with half of the section on Tuesday, half of the section on Thursday. This frees up resources such as rooms, right? You may even be able to set it up to where if I'm doing a class that could be done hybrid and I have the class and I do my section and we just meet on Tuesday, you could have another class that is a big pressure point class that puts out their basic material, and that class meets Thursday. One classroom, Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30 to 1:45 time frame. One resource classroom meeting the needs of 50 to 100 students. Because how many times have you guys tried to get in a class and there's no space, and it's because there's not enough seats, right? We need to think about how we serve our students. I get Flagler wants to be the face-to-face institution, but we also have to meet the students where they are. You guys are not foreign to hybrid style, and you're not foreign to online stuff. I also find it a bit hypocritical that we go, we're an online institution, but then we teach all of our summer classes online, right? So there are some things, yes, you want to stick to your ethics and you want to stick to your core values, but you have to meet sometimes the individuals you're working with where they are to better serve them, and also realize we have a finite set of resources and how can we maximize it. That's something that I have expressed to the Board of Trustees, and I never understand why the hard line with face-to-face classes, and every now and then to say, well, we'll do this one hybrid or online just for a random reason, right?
I did have psychopersonality on hybrid. It was HA hybrid. And you did horrible in that class. But
so I'll say this. I think part of it too is the individuals that deliver it. I think I could successfully deliver a hybrid class. And I think it's because of the way I do my classes anyway. I don't do straight up multiple choice sit in a classroom tests. I've never believed in them, never done them. I believe there's different ways for individuals to show their learning and understanding of material, which is why I have you guys do the in-class assignments, kind of do writings and feedback. The quizzes, open quizzes, you could take them a couple of times. These are core concepts that you should know and understand, but there's different ways you could show your intellect and your ability to move forward. I think if you have a professor that's just hard set on, we should test this way, you should use these testing things, have a camera record you. I think we're failing the students in how they learn, understanding that there's different ways to learn and grasp material and move forward. Let me step off my soapbox, right? Because I can go about this forever. I just think that there's a lot of different ways. And I think this comes from me being a father, 4 kids, each very different in their learning ways. My youngest daughter learns very differently than my oldest daughter. My 2 sons learn very differently from each other as well. My oldest daughter likes to sit down, do test stuff. However, my youngest daughter does not. And I see the impact it has on them as individuals, the anxiety she gets. But when I sit there and talk to her, I'm like, Dan, you're like really, really smart. You did bad on this test. That just means potentially maybe you're just a bad test taker, not that you're not intelligent. So I think when you have individuals, I'm going to include myself in that generation, that truly don't try to reach out and understand students, who you are, and meeting you where you are, giving you the opportunity to grow and develop the way you need to grow and develop to put you in positions to succeed. We have failed as an older generation. Right? Some of the things we did as an older generation are messed up, like messed up. The idea of just deal with it. There is no such thing as ADHD. I've heard people in my generation say that. I was like, no, it exists. Just because when we were in school, they denied IEPs doesn't mean they don't exist, right? So, that's one that I wouldn't say it's wacky. I just don't understand the hardline stance on not trying to develop education in a different way. We have core and flagship, and we say it's to give education to students in a completely unique way. Well, this is a unique way. Let's embrace that. Let's have that as our core. So it's more of a disagreement in philosophical thinking of education. I wouldn't say it's wacky. I just don't understand it, like why the hardline stance. So, those are things. And when they say certain things, it's hard for me. I wish I could be like John Cena, like you can't see me in those moments, because I'm just sitting there like, and how many education classes have you sat in? You could see it in my face. And that does not lead to conducive conversations. Right? I will turn it over to you, Joe. Now, last piece, the magic button.
The magic button. I don't know that I would want to read people's minds, but I have sat in so many boardrooms, and I sure would like to intermittently know where each of these people are coming from so that I can make sure that my message is meeting their needs or the gaps and what they're looking for. So if I had, sporadic mind reading would probably helped me be a better leader, person, father, and so forth.
No, thank you so much for your time.
You're
I really appreciate you. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Okay.
Class, I want to thank you guys for sitting through this experimental piece. Yeah, we can give a round of applause to Joe. Thank you so much, Joe. I don't know how this went. I will find out when the students go, hey, this was dope, or this was absolute straight hot garbage, Dr. Rivera. We will find out. But thank you guys for entertaining this. Joe,
Yes,
thank you for
thank
entertaining
you.
this. I hope you guys have a good one. And again, do not forget, we will not be meeting for class next week. Once I go through all this stuff, I will post kind of the interaction that you will have. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Have a great Thanksgiving.